It has been occupying the national headlines for the last 3 or 4 days. Karnataka's communal cauldron is boiling over. Very evidently, communal violence has been regularly exploding, and it appears that provocateurs think they can get away with anything. That's why they could brazenly execute Pradeep. A Bharatiya Janata Party Yuva Morcha Neta or leader. The police now say that the attack was premeditated. First, listen to what the police is saying.
It seems to be pre-planned. It is not that it was randomly done, because you can see we have got the CCTV footage where they are waiting for 30 minutes. That means that there was this target was not random. They did not come randomly and attack. They are waiting for the specific target, and there seems to be preparation and local involvement, and there will be non-local involvement also. So now non-local component, we are working on that.
Viewers, ever since the killing, the BJP's own cadres, youth cadres, have been taking on their own political party and the government for doing little to protect them against what they believe is radicalism and retributive justice. Viewers, rattled by the backlash and fearing more violence, which could lead to more backlash, the Karnataka Chief Minister and his deputies are talking tough. The CM says he will implement the Yogi model, while a colleague in government with him says he will not hesitate to encounter those the police believe are guilty. Encounter was the word he used, and he says that his prescription will be 5 times more than that issued by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath. Listen in.
I have told him in Bangalore, whatever possible we'll do it, and if need be, if the situation says that UP model or much more stricter than that, we will not hesitate to do it.
Now the tough talk, viewers, has elicited some very strong reactions from the opposition. The opposition in the state has accused the BJP government and the Chief Minister, Mr. Bommai, of resorting to extrajudicial avenues to impose their writ. And they say that this will only lead to anarchy. The Chief Minister and his party refuted the criticism, slamming the opposition for allowing appeasement to dictate their responses. Listen into this.
Chief Minister's reaction about Mangalore incident, that he will thinking to bring Yogi model here. But my advice to the government, Yogi model, some other model will not going to work out here. First, the responsibility of the government and the Chief Minister is to get the confidence of those area people who are with the communities. He has to convince the people and give message to the all section of the society that this government is for all the 6 crore 50 lakhs people government. That confidence must he has to give to those.
I was shocked to hear the statement of the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Bommai, that the same measures like what is done by the Yogis Adityanath will be adopted here to curb violence. In fact, this is spitting venom against people. And you know, what does it mean? It means anarchy. The government itself will be taking the law into their own hands. You know, in that, why should we have courts? Why should we have police? You just, engage an operator of a bulldozer and run down.
ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೀಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದ ನಾಗರಿಕರ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ, ಅವರ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ತೀವ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಯಾರೇ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿ ಆ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನು ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ UP-ಗಿಂತ ಒಂದು 5 ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. UP-ಗಿಂತನೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. UP-ಗಿಂತನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಒಂದು ಮುಂದುವರೆದ ರಾಜ್ಯ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗಿಂತ ಪ್ರಗತಿಪರವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ರಾಜ್ಯ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇತರರಿಗೆ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನೇನು ಅನುಸರಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು
Let's open this up, viewers. Let's ask some basic questions tonight. Let me go straight across to Mohan Krishna, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, Brijesh Kalappa, advocate, also joining us from Bangalore, Tanveer Ahmed, national spokesperson of the JDS, Zeba Yasmeen, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Welcome. Let me just go straight across to Mohan Krishna and Brijesh Kalappa. Mr. Kalappa, first to you. Straight question. Is this an attempt to rely on extrajudicial measures to impose the writ of law, as the opposition is claiming in the state of Karnataka, sir? You're a lawyer. Please tell us.
See, Rahul, as far as Karnataka is concerned, Karnataka has had a long stint of great peace. And today we are faced in a situation where, one, election clouds are gathering. And two is that, these rampant killings during elections, they always tend to queer the pitch. Now, who is doing what and what is being done is a different matter. I'd only like to say that as far as the people of Karnataka are concerned, they are deeply concerned with the fact that, the cases of lawlessness are increasing. Therefore, an extraordinary situation has been created for which an extraordinary response is called for. Now, if the government has a particular plan that, some extraordinary response must be there, and which is fitting to this extraordinary situation, I think it's completely called for. And I think this is what the people of Karnataka expect. That, one, that there should be overall peace, there should be overall lawfulness. And for that, I think the Karnataka government must go the extra mile. And this is what the people of Karnataka expect. I think this is essentially what the people of Karnataka expect.
Okay. Let me bring in Tanveer Ahmed, spokesperson of the JDS. Mr. Ahmed, your party and others like you have been saying that this will become a extrajudicial weapon in the hands of the state to go after people on the basis of their identities, etc., intimidate people. How do you substantiate this?
I don't know what exactly they mean by Yogi model. If at all lawlessness is what they want there in Karnataka, they can definitely bring Yogi model. But as we all know that UP and Bihar absolutely is known for a certain political style, but not Karnataka. Karnataka was always been a peaceful state, developing state on terms of education, in front of infrastructure. Rather than developing that and bringing peace and harmony, today Mr. Bommai and especially Ashwath Narayan is saying that he wants to encounter. And today I am really surprised, my good honorable friend Mr. Brijesh Kalappa, whom we all respect, today he is speaking a language which we have never heard from Brijesh Kalappa.
No, it's not about,
he said, what extraordinary situation are you talking about, Mr.
Mr.
Kalappa?
Ahmed, he has a point of view.
Lawlessness is happening.
He has a point of view. I'm only asking you.
You want to kill people?
No, Mr.
You
Ahmed.
want to do encounters?
One second, Mr. Ahmed, let's just take it step by step. I think, let's not, we'll ask that question of Mohan Krishna, who's from the BJP. The advocate here, Mr. Kalappa, is saying that an extraordinary situation requires, let me finish, sir, requires an extraordinary response. One second, we'll ask that question. Don't worry, we'll ask that question. But you said that the Yogi model will lead to anarchy. Now, I'm just giving you some cold statistics, sir. 2014, the number of rapes in Uttar Pradesh, 3,467. In 2016, 4,816. So there was a jump. Then 4,244 in 2017, just when Yogi takes charge. Today, 2,769 rapes. Sir, the numbers have fallen from 3,467 and a high of 4,816 to 2,769, which is almost a 50% drop in the number of rapes. Obviously, the ideal situation should be zero. But obviously, something is working. Murders, 2014, 5,150, 5,150. That was the highest point of the murder rate in Uttar Pradesh. In 2017, it was 4,324. Today, it is 3,779, 3,779, which is again, sir, almost a 30% plus decrease in the number of murders, thefts. 48,380 in 2014, they go up to a high of 60,434 when Yogi takes over. Today they're at 33,250 again, sir, just about 50%. How can you say that the Yogi model is not working? The statistics are there.
I don't know what statistics are you talking about, but in terms of development, in terms of progressive thinking, in terms of brotherhood, in terms of India, which talks about Sarve Jano Sukhino Bhavatu, in terms of India, which talks about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that's not happening there in Yogi model. Yogi model is absolutely on divisiveness. Yogi model is based on fear. You can't really have fear. You need to bring people together to really not to have crime. You can't really go bulldoze. That is not the constitution. India is always run and will run by Baba Saheb Ambedkar model, not by Yogi model. If at all, does Baba Saheb Ambedkar model promote Yogi model? Absolutely no.
Okay. Let me bring in Mr. Mohan Krishna, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. You see, bulldozers will roll, encounters will happen. They will happen against members of one community more than the other. These are the apprehensions that are being raised by the JDS spokesperson here tonight. How do you respond to those?
Rahul, it's really astonishing to hear from the people, and I'm not, I'm not like a kind of a thing, You have heard of people against Gujarat model earlier. What was Gujarat model? They did not understand. He became the Prime Minister of the country, Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi. That was Gujarat model. After 2002, how we handled after Gujarat and how they have developed is also a model. That was one thing. What is Yogi model? You have explained about the crime rates and other things. I will take it as a Yogi model in a different way. Yogi model is show the door to the right person, the right door, and the wrong person, the wrong door. What are the wrong doors which was closed earlier has been opened by Yogi model, and we are also trying to emulate. And I'm telling you one more thing, I would like to add one more point. After Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh Yogi model, Gujarat model and Yogi model, these miscreants have flown down to south. There are a lot of people, this opposition who has ruled this state for many years, has given shelter for many people, and that's why they are afraid today.
That's a big charge. Mohan Krishna made a very big charge. I want Ms. Eva Yasmin to respond. Samajwadi spokesperson. I have read out statistics, ma'am, of when the Samajwadi party was in power and now when Mr. Yogi is in power. If there was so much lawlessness, so much extrajudicial terror, why did Mr. Yogi win the last election? Number one, on the plank of governance, the Yogi model, the double engine model, number one. That was their key calling card. Number two, most importantly, why is constantly a question been asked, despite the fact that there are statistics otherwise to show that any crackdown that has taken place across castes and religions equally? Zeba Yasmin. And I have the statistics. Is it not true that Sundar Bhati, Anil Dujana, Badan Singh, Bhado, their assets have been seized, as well as people of the minority community? Isn't it that? And I'm not here for a moment, viewers, underlining or endorsing encounters. But when they have happened, out of the 141 encounters, in these 45 encounters took place and minorities were involved. The rest, it was people of other communities and castes. So, Eva Yasmin, encounters are wrong in any case. We should never ever go for a situation where encounters become necessary unless, of course, there are extenuating circumstances, and then also maximum restraint. must be observed. But why is this constant association with the Yogi model to a communal color constantly made? Are you giving a cover to criminal elements? That's what the BJP is saying today, making a very big charge on the show.
Rahul, I really appreciate your research and you have come up with data and all. But let me throw some light on other factors also. I mean, as you only said that encounters are never justifiable because we have courts, we have law and order to punish them. It's very barbaric that, I mean, they also have if there is any accused, he also has a right to fight for himself and court is going to punish. And these kinds of incidents, we have seen that in Yogi Ji's rule, it is very common these days. And the other thing I would like to throw light that custodial death, it's a very important issue. And it is also very barbaric. I mean, the videos we have seen in Kanpur riots and all that, video was released, police was, beating them badly and showing video and it was floating on Twitter.
I agree. But
let me finish.
But can the exception be cited as the norm? That's a fundamental question that you need to answer. Yes, it has happened. I mean, in Tamil Nadu, Times Now ran a campaign where the police went on a rampage and beat 2 people, black and blue. You are aware of that case. But is that the norm? I can't say that. That is the norm. So we can cherry pick an example and we can quote it and, you can make an argument on it and you're within your rights, but that may not be right, ma'am.
And as Yogi government is, advertising bulldozer, bulldozing somebody's property, again there is a court to fight for it. In Allahabad, we saw that a person's home was bulldozed and later on it was found that that house was on the name of his wife. In Kanpur case only. So, I mean, these kinds of things happen.
Okay.
So, how would Yogi government, justify? And one more thing, as BJP spokesperson was saying that Gujarat model made the Chief Minister of Gujarat a PM. Sorry, my dear friend, we have seen the actual model of Gujarat. Thanks to social media, thanks to some reports of some journalists, that we have already seen the condition of roads, the main projects, they are still under the pipeline.
Okay, very quickly.
We know the Gujarat.
Mr. Mohan Krishna, respond. Mohan Krishna, respond. Gujarat model is a flop, she says. Yes.
That's a flop show.
And let me tell you, viewers, when interventions have been made... Yes, Mr. Mohan Krishna, respond.
I will answer to Zeba as well as Tanveer also. He said Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is not there in Yogi, Uttar Pradesh. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is for whole world and it is there for India. And UP is in India. That means it is there. I can tell you one thing. Second thing, coming to the charges of Zeba, what she is saying. You have given the statistics. They are not ready to accept the statistics, one thing. She has not answered for the question what you have asked. The miscreants have flown down from north to south today. That is my charge. That is the reason these opposition parties, Congress and JDS...
No, but one second. No, one second. Mr. Mohan Krishna, let me just ask you this. Your minister today used the word encounter. That is what is also got everyone worked up. Would you endorse that? Encounter, he says. How can you endorse that?
No, let me tell you. See, encounter is the ultimatum. Okay? So, encounter is not done for everybody. Encounter happens and it happens accidentally. It doesn't happen, purposefully nobody does it.
How do you know?
That's one thing. As Mr. Ashok Narayan was saying... It has happened
recently. In 1 minute, it has happened recently in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, the police there, according to the courts, went out and intentionally killed 4 accused in a rape case. They did that. So let's not say that encounters don't happen deliberately because the courts have taken cognizance and there are other cases also. But I'll leave it at this, viewers. We're at a point of inflection in Karnataka. The model you choose to bring about law and order will be equally important as bringing about law and order. Justice must be done, but it also must be seen to be done. The law must be applied, but it also must be seen to be applied. These are fundamentals. So if there are models being considered, they have to be deliberated upon. I will leave it at that, viewers. Ultimately, the proof of the pudding is always in its eating. Let's see. Let's see. No one to stand in judgment. The news are coming up.